Hello, I'm Alison Duana. I'm an astrologer, and what I'm really interested in is goddess asteroids. And I also synthesize my work with the gene keys, which I've been a long time student of. And it might sound like that might make it more complicated, but actually, what I find is that working with the gene keys and the zodiac, it kind of gives us three words to work from a shadow to a gift to a acidic state. So in that sense, it can actually make things a lot simpler. So what I'm going to talk about today is this amazing new moon coming up. We're coming out of the eclipse season, and the new moon is on the 13th of November, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. And it's happening in Gene Key 43. So this is a really amazing gene key, and it moves from the experience of deafness, first of all. So deafness in our world is everywhere, and it's in ourselves. You know, we really don't want to listen to how we feel when we're uncomfortable. We have a myriad of ways to distract us. We have so much noise going on in the world. So in order to come out of the shadow of deafness is actually quite a big thing, that we have to kind of go into a quiet space, really listen and honor how we're feeling, feel how we're feeling, and really listen to other people, even when we don't agree with them. And I love this practice of kind of listening with my whole body, coming really present and able to hear things on many, many different levels. And from this experience of deafness, we can grow into the gift of insight, and then the acidic frequency of epiphany. So let me share the chart with you, because we have this amazing gene key. So you can read about this more in Richard Rudd's book called The Gene Keys. And that would give you the full lowdown of this gene key 43. And what is amazing, so when you read this thing about Richard Rudd's words about epiphany, you know, epiphany is something that happens very suddenly, and it's a breakthrough. In fact, in the I Ching and human design, this gene key 43, so we can see here the moon and the sun at 20 degrees Scorpio. So this part of the zodiac is gene key 43. And then we have Mars conjunct that. We also have Ceres, the mother goddess, and it's not shown on my chart, but we also have Child, the asteroid Child. So we have the mother and the child energy embodied in this. We have the mother and the sun energy as well, actually, with Ceres and Mars. Now, what is really amazing to me is that almost exactly opposite the new moon is Uranus at the moment. And Uranus is a planet that brings these epiphanies, breakthroughs, sudden flashes of inspiration. And this is gene key 23, where Uranus is, and it's called Splitting Apart. And it leads from the shadow of complexity to simplicity to the absolute quintessence of what something is about. So at this time with this new moon, we might really get this, you know, this kind of experience of just seeing really clearly in which direction we need to go. And that is actually happening to me already as I'm doing this the last few days. And it's very interesting. That often happens, you know, when I decide to write about something, the experience starts to unfold. And this gene key as well, I'll just come out of the sharing for the moment. It talks about three levels of our relationship to life and survival and money. And it talks about the first level of this is survival. So we're just trying to survive. We're trying to get enough work. We're trying to fill our own bank account. You know, we may find ourselves competing with other people, worrying about other people, worrying that we're not good enough, or all the things that could possibly be obstacles to our success. And the next level, though, in this is about service. So once we get into service, and our work and all of our lives really become about making the whole a better place, and suddenly all those worries drop away because we start to just naturally live from our heart and give and be more childlike and playful, actually, rather than being in this kind of worry head of not being enough. We start to feel at the service level, when we're giving in that way, that it just feels so much more open and expansive. And then the next level it talks about is surrender, almost as if, you know, we just, how I experience this is, we feel the support of the whole of life, other humans. That sounds crazy sometimes in our competitive world, but it is like we feel the support of Gaia, Mother Earth. That's that series. We feel looked after, taken care of, and we completely surrender into that field. I'm doing the Dream Arc at the moment in the Gene Keys. I'm lucky enough to be a host in the Dream Arc retreat at the moment, and this is where this is taking me, into this deep surrender to trusting in Mother Nature to support all of my and everyone else's needs. And I do feel that as a species, we are going to potentially quantum leap into this space. And so this new moon is actually an incredible opportunity for us to make that leap. So watch the space. I feel like I'm making that leap myself. So I really pray that other people do as well. Okay, so let's return to the chart and just look at a few other things going on here. So you'll notice that the new moon is at 20 degrees Scorpio, and then we have Mars and Ceres at these later degrees of Scorpio. So we have quite a few things linking in here. So, for example, we have Neptune here is at 25 degrees Pisces. So that's in what we call a trine. A 60-degree positive aspect in the water element of Ceres and Neptune. So this can be about the healing power of water, the nurturing power of water on our planet. Yeah, I'm going to read a poem at the end of a swim I did the other day, where I was embodying being a Pythia oracle python in the sea. So maybe that's like an example of the nurturing of water. And then we have, so we have Pluto at the moment is at 28 degrees of Capricorn. So that's also linking in with all these other planets at these later stages, later degrees. We have Pluto is actually in quite a wide trine to Uranus there, who's also in the earth sign of Taurus. So as I mentioned before, Uranus is in Gene Key 23, splitting apart, finding the simplicity and opposing this new moon. And here we have the South Node and Pallas Athena at 23 degrees of Libra there. And we have the North Node there at 23 degrees of Aries. And so this North Node is in Gene Key 42, actually. And you can see they're not sequential, these gene keys, how they appear in the zodiac. But this is all about detachment, is the gift and the celebration. So what I feel in all of these things going on, and also actually, let me mention also that, so Venus is in Libra here in Gene Key 18, line 2, which is all about judgment, moving to like the higher vision of things. And Venus is exactly conjunct Cetus. So Cetus is all about monsters and the terror of the subconscious. And it feels like this is what we're looking at in our world right now. I'm going to come out of this again. Is with what's going on in the Middle East between Israel and the Palestinians, this incredible energy of violence and war and destruction of human life. And we're starting to see, I feel, a more nurturing voice come through. There's almost like voice of wanting to take care of the whole of humanity. So the French Prime Minister, for example, said yesterday that every life matters, you know, a bit of an echo of Black Lives Matter, really, but here in a different context, you know, just kind of feeling into the actual what is happening, people really dying, real people who are mothers, who are brothers, fathers, sisters, you know. And I'm actually making this on solstice, Remembrance Day, a couple of days before the new moon, and someone sent me a song that's on YouTube called Everyone's Sons, and she wrote the song, the musician. I'll post it in the link to the YouTube video, about everyone else's sons. And there's this sort of sentiment of taking care of the whole, but also having to face this incredible fear and perhaps also the deafness. You know, I notice myself, I have to manage how much I can, how much news I can take in, but I also don't want to be indifferent to it. So it's about how much can I actually feel of this conflict, which is really a conflict. You know, it comes from many generations of European involvement, American involvement. So we can't just say this is about two groups of people, the Israelis and Palestinians, because it's actually so huge, you know, and ancestrally it takes in many, many streams of people across the world. And how wonderful would it be to finally find a peaceful solution for everyone to live in peace together on our beautiful planet, and for all lives, all religions, all creatures to be a valuable part of life. So that's what I feel coming through in the message, you know, both the facing of the fear, the terror, feeling into the deafness, you know, can we feel, how much can we feel of what's going on? And when we do feel, you know, that can be very, very transformative of how we want things to be in the future, and to use our co-creative power, our prayers, our wishes to create that future for ourselves here. So thank you for listening. I do offer one-to-one astrology readings. My main thing is the goddess asteroid reading, but I do other readings on like mermaid readings and healers, special healers in the chart. And I also have a subscription platform where I follow the Venus moon gates every month. We're in the morning star phase right now. And that's in a small, quite intimate group of women, and we do creative writing each month. And I have a weekly astrology class that looks at different goddesses. We're working on dark goddess asteroids at the moment. Cetus is the one I'm focused on right now. And that I just roll with that intuitively, and it's a really beautiful group, you know, very supportive, very embracing of our dark goddess, other kind of energies, and releasing our gifts and voices into the world as a group, and kind of holding each other in that process. So if you feel called to that, you can join Soul Tribe online. Actually, in November, you can join for the rest of the month for free. Usually it's just 10 days, and you can try it out. And then the subscription is from $39 a month. It goes related to your income. You can contribute more to myself and the other wonderful teachers who do daily meditation, yoga classes that really help to physically embody these wonderful teachings of the goddess asteroids and Venus and the moon and all the beautiful planets and what they're creating for us. So namaste. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.